Hey guys, what's up? I'm Lily and welcome back to my channel. So one of the biggest questions that I get on my TikTok is, how do you film your POVs? So the other day I posted this one.
So you'll pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
What's that supposed to be about, baby?
And honestly, it's one of my favorites now, so I'm going to be teaching you exactly how I made it. The process is super easy. It really is not hard at all. You do not need to be some editing guru to make a POV. I would recommend a couple things though. If you do not have a green screen, just try to place yourself in front of a white wall or just any solid color wall, because that way it is easier for you to remove the background of the video. So if you don't already have them, you need to download the apps VideoLeap, CAPCUT, and Prequel. These are the apps that I'll be using today. I would say the very first thing you need to do is to find a sound. The sound I found is directly from TikTok, so I'm just going to go and press the use sound button, and then I'm going to start recording from the TikTok app. You can record from the normal camera app if you'd like. For some reason, I just feel like the TikTok camera app just works better for me. You're also going to want to have some good lighting. For example, I have my ring light up with my DIY green screen setup behind me. Once you have your setup put together, I'm just going to hit the countdown timer, and then I'm just going to start recording.
So you'll pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
After you're recorded, we go on to part 2. My outfit is going to be different in this one because it's from the actual POV. But do not worry, I did exactly the same thing as I just showed you. So once you have your video recorded, you're going to want to screen record it, and you're going to press the little square up top so that you can see the whole thing in full frame.
So you'll pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
So once that is done, we move on to the fun part, which is the editing. Yay! The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my gallery, and then I'm going to crop the video so that I am more in the frame and you don't see the excess white wall, so you can only see me in the green screen. That way it'll be easier to remove the background when we're editing. Then we're going to go into VideoLeap, and this is where we're going to remove the background of our video. So once I enter the app, I'm going to go directly into import media. I'm going to import my video. Then I'm going to format the video into 9:16 because that is the phone ratio. Then I'm just going to press on the video and look for the chroma effect so that I can remove the background. And now I'm just going to play around with the settings until I find the settings that I like. Once I have the settings that I like, I'm going to click export. Then I'm going to put the settings to the highest features so that I get the quality that I want. Then we are going to jump directly into CAPCUT. We're going to start a new project and import our media. But we are going to import our screen recording as an overlay. We're going to add it to the project, and I'll tell you why it is an overlay. Now you can see it's an overlay so that we can put it on top of the background. I'm going to move that to side for a second, and I'm going to work on getting a background. So I'm going to go on the scene that I want to use, and I'm going to find a specific part, and then I'm going to crop it, and I'm going to crop it into 9:16 to get the correct ratio. Do not forget to also format your canvas to 9:16. I forgot to do that before, but now it's done. Then we are going to press the little image we just got, and we are going to go to the freeze option so that it becomes like a picture. Don't forget to also turn off the sound on the original video. So don't worry about what I'm doing right now, I'm just splitting some excess video that I did not need. So once you've cut it to where the video starts, you are going to press extract audio, and you are going to do this so the video and the sound are separated, so when you delete parts of the video, they won't delete with the audio. And I'm just trimming the audio to make sure that it ends where it's supposed to end and I don't leave anything out or keep too much in. After that's done, I'm just going to move the audio to the very beginning of the video so that it's ready and set to go. So now I'm just going to move the overlay to the very beginning of the video. So then I'm just going to press on the overlay and press crop and format it to 9:16, and I'm going to make sure that it fits the entire screen. And now I'm going to press the remove background button to get rid of the black screen, and now you can see we have our background. As I was editing, I realized that my backpack was fading in and out because it's green, so I'm just zooming in a little bit so that you can't see it. So now I'm just going to split the video where I stop talking. Remember to press on both the video and the overlay so you can split both. And now I'm just going to move the overlay to the side for a second so that I can do the same thing but with the Cobra Kai scene. This part is sped up because I'm just cropping Miguel's scene to get exactly where I want it to be. So now that I have the scene that I want, I'm going to work on cropping him so that he fits exactly in the frame. And now I'm just going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to see if it all works together.
So you'll pick me up at 8?
Okay, so don't worry about this part. I just had to trim some of the scene that wasn't working with the audio. For this specific scene, I needed to mirror the scene, so I'm going to press mirror, and I just mirrored the scene so that it looks like I'm actually looking at Miguel. And I'm also cropping it because I am pretty zoomed in and I felt like he wasn't, so I wanted to fix that. And don't mind what I'm doing right now, I literally had lost the footage of the overlay, so this is the process of me finding it. Now you're going to bring your overlay back to the beginning and place it right where the last scene we just edited ended. Now I am pressing the background that we used before. I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to move that to the other side of the scene we just did so that it can become the background for our next scene. Now I am trimming the overlay once again so that the overlay matches up with our audio. So I'm just doing the same thing. This part is sped up so you guys don't have to sit through the boringness of it. Once you get it to where it has to be, just crop the excess background and move your overlay to where it needs to be exactly. Again, I'm zooming in so you can't see my disappearing backpack. Now I'm just going to play it back again to make sure everything's in order. Keep an eye out for little cuts like that, like the one I'm about to see. Sometimes things like that happen, so just make sure you fix them. If you're using the same audio that I am, then you could easily just end the video there. However, I wanted to make the ending a little cuter, so now I'm going to look for a scene of Miguel where he's smiling. Once I find it, I'm just going to trim it and delete the excess. I'm speeding this part up because it's basically what I did the first time with the Miguel scene. I'm just going to crop it, mirror it so it looks like he's looking at me, and fix up any other little details. Here I am slowing down his scene a little bit just because I want it to be a little longer. I'm speeding it up again because all I'm doing is just cropping, trimming, and making sure all those little details are perfect. Now let's play it back and see how it looks.
Still pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
So that basically is done, but I wanted to add a little touch to it, so I wanted to put some music in the background. So right now I'm just going to go through my audios and look for the one that I want. I'm just going to add the sound and see if it works.
Still pick me up at 8? Still pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
And now I'm just going to trim it a little bit because I didn't really like how it sounded the first time. Here I'm just editing the volume of the sound I just added, but now let's play it back and see how it looks.
Still pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
Now I'm just giving it one last look, and then we're going to go ahead and export it. Be sure to press all the features that I am so you get great quality. From here we move directly into the app Prequel, which is going to help us get a good filter for the video. We're just going to export our video in.
Still pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy?
I'm speeding this part up because it's just me looking for a good filter to use.
Be worse than the guys I do know.
What's that supposed to be about?
So once I've found the filter that I want, I'm just going to go into adjust, and I'm going to fix things like the light, the color, the contrast, the brightness, all those little things. Then we're going to export the video, and we're actually going to go back into CAPCUT. The reason I'm going back into CAPCUT is actually because now I'm going to add the text over the filter. I could have added the text before, but sometimes with the filter on top, it's harder to read. Sometimes with Prequel, the sound can get a little messed up, so to fix that, we're going to go into Sounds, then we're going to click on the little File Image, and then we're going to go to Extract Sound from Video. And then we are going to press on the video that we want and put Import Sound Only. After that, I'm just going to match it up to the video and make sure that it's all aligned. I really don't have to do much here, just put it up to where the video begins. And we're just doing this to make sure that the sound is all matched up. Now I'm just going to go into the Add Text feature, and I'm going to start writing what the audio says. I am using the font system, and I'm going to go into Shadow and press Black and make it to 100. And now I'm just zooming in the text and placing it where it has to go so it doesn't take up the whole screen. And I'm going to make sure to trim that exactly to where it goes. And I'm basically going to do the same thing for the other two texts that I'm going to add. The exception with this one is that I am changing the color so that you can distinguish who's talking. And again, just doing the same thing I did for the first one. Now I'm just going to press the text, go to animation, and look for fade in. And I'm going to set that to 0.2 seconds. And I'm going to do the same thing for the out and put fade out to 0.2 seconds. And I will repeat that for the following texts too. And now we're just going to export it and make sure to do what I'm doing so you get good quality. And we just wait and we're done! I'm so sorry, that was probably longer than it should have been.
Still pick me up at 8?
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse than the guys I do know.
What's that supposed to be about, baby?